Hello, we're back again. Hi, week 2. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Mike.
And we want you to subscribe to our channel. Go, and like this and share it, the video. But after you watch it, and make sure you like it. So, that's that. Right, so the intro song will come in now.
Alright, so in this episode we're going to discuss one of Lexington, Kentucky's oldest unsolved cases. A cold case from the 1960s. Yeah.
I know nothing about this. He did all the research this week. I did it last week. So I'm kind of along for the ride with you all, except that I have the power to comment when I please.
Yeah.
I already had that, so it don't matter.
So disclaimer, there is some, I guess what you would call graphic content. In this video, we're going to be discussing a few things that are somewhat tragic. Viewer discretion is advised.
Alright, I can't wait. I have been excited to... It always sounds bad when I say that, but I am, like, excited to hear this story.
Yeah.
He said it was interesting, and then he kept trying to tell me, and I was like, no, wait.
It's like Christmas. Wait. I'm really bad at Christmas because I always want to tell people what I get them before.
At Christmas... You get my gifts. First he says, let's not get any gifts. And I'm like, alright. This really is how this goes almost every year.
Pretty much.
No gifts. I don't get any gifts because we got a lot of kids. So I'm always buying gifts for the kids. I'm like, okay, we'll save money. Then he shows up and he's like, I got you a gift, but you gotta wait till Christmas. Here it is right now.
Yeah. She thinks she doesn't get a gift and then it's like, hey, you know, the world's greatest gifts. Right?
Right. Ever.
Exactly.
3 coffee machines.
She likes coffee.
I do. I think I do.
Yeah.
Okay, no, sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
On October 27th, 1961, Betty Gail Brown, who was 19 years old, was found dead inside of her parked car outside of Transylvania College in Lexington, Kentucky. She was strangled with her own bra. So Betty Brown was described as a very photogenic, fair skin.
I would have liked her.
Yeah. She was described as a very pretty girl, very popular. She was a Sunday school teacher at her church, and she sang in her school choir. Betty was so well liked by her friends and her faculty at her school that she was awarded the Good Citizens Award her senior year of high school. Betty got a 4-year scholarship to Transylvania College. She immediately joined a sorority. She became very popular with her new circle of friends. She was basically well liked in her new college as well, just like she was in high school. Betty wasn't known to have any enemies. She seemed to be a very happy girl. Just days prior to her death, Betty was featured in the front page of a local newspaper. She was planning for a Sadie Hawkins dance, and some of the girls with her were featured on the front page of the newspaper. One of the strange things that remains today questionable about this case is that this picture that was taken was just mere yards from where her body was found dead.
My little detective brain. I'm listening, but now I'm going to be putting...
So police files reveal that Betty had left a nearby Ford Hall dormitories, a ladies' dormitory where she was studying with some of her friends around midnight, the night of her death. They later suggest that the autopsy revealed that her time of death was around 1 a.m. and her body wasn't found until 3 a.m. Betty had not been raped. Her purse was left untouched. Her school books were beside her and her keys were tossed in the back seat of the car. Photos reveal that the way that her body was in the car revealed that she likely put up a struggle. Over the next several months, over 20 officers were consistently investigating Betty's murder. They followed every lead they possibly could, but they yielded no real productive leads until 1965 with a suspicious confession.
So to sum it up, great girl, cute girl, goes to college, studying with friends prior to the last night she's seen alive. She's got her face on the front page of the newspaper. Yeah.
So interestingly, Betty's mother, Quincy Brown, just right after she died, had made a public statement to the newspaper that she did not want the killer to face the death penalty. Her father, Hargis Brown, however, had quite the different thought on that. He stated that he believed the judicial system, the justice system, should be carried out.
So they didn't even know who the murderer was, and her mother was already calling out.
Right after the death, she said that she did not want the murderer to be facing the death penalty.
Good thing we got Quincy's opinion.
In 1965, Alex Arnold Jr. confessed to the murder of Betty Gail Brown. Arnold was arrested in Plymouth Falls, Oregon for disorderly conduct and public intoxication. Arnold was fined $25. He was homeless, living on the streets, so he didn't have the money to pay for this fine. He was sentenced 10 days incarceration to pay off his fine. It was reported that Arnold had a pretty severe alcohol addiction. He struggled with alcohol throughout the majority of his adult life. When he was incarcerated, serving his 10 days, he began having alcohol withdrawals, hallucinations. He was talking about a time machine in the cell with him and a monitoring device in the cell. Arnold, in his confession, had explained that he'd been drinking all day. It was late at night, and he was just trying to find a place to sleep. And he said that he stumbled upon this parked car, and there were 2 girls inside making out. He asked the girls for a match, so he says, and they just cussed at him and told him to leave. So what he says then is that he grabbed Betty Brown's hair, smashed her head on the dashboard. The other girl runs off, and that's when he states that he proceeded to strangle Betty Brown with her own bra.
So she never came back and was like, hey, I know what happened to Betty?
Yeah, no, that didn't happen.
Oh, okay. So, okay.
Arnold states that after he killed Betty, he went to a friend's house. He had a drink, and he passed out on her couch. Well, later, this friend explains that none of this ever happened. She states that he never came over, they never had a drink, he never passed out on her couch. So this confession of Arnold was just full of holes from the beginning. He was hallucinating and claiming that he killed this girl, yet he later goes on to say that, maybe this didn't even happen. I think I might have been dreaming this the entire time. I might have dreamt this up.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he says that he's pretty sure he killed Betty, but he may not have. Mm-hmm. That it may have all been a dream.
One time I dreamt that I had a Ninja Turtle watch, and I couldn't find it when I woke up.
Arnold, during his trial, actually recanted his confession and said, this actually didn't happen. So, after much deliberation, they've been investigating Arnold, they've looked into his confession, and just things weren't adding up in the whole story. It just didn't make a lot of sense. It actually, the whole trial ended up as a hung jury. They declared it a mistrial, they threw it out. There were 7 people that said, that there wasn't enough evidence there to convict him, and then there were 5 that voted for the conviction. Arnold was released and never interviewed again after this trial. What's really crazy, and even crazier turns from, this guy's admitted to killing her. He says that he did it, but he says, I was drunk, I might have just imagined it all, I dreamt it up. He says this other stuff that it didn't even happen. Well, now there's another potential suspect in this case, and this suspect wasn't even interviewed, wasn't even investigated. Another suspect in public opinion was the infamous serial killer Nolan Ray George. Now, George was a serial killer in that time frame that was killing women across the country, and some of those murders were in the Lexington, Kentucky area. George was never interviewed regarding Betty Gail Brown's murder, but his method of murder was very similar to the way she died. George was later incarcerated and convicted of murder of a completely unrelated case and sentenced to life in prison, but again, still had yet to be interviewed by anybody. With no further clues as to who may have killed Betty Gail Brown, her killer became commonly known as the Boogieman of Lexington.
Man, that's crazy.
So that's the story of Betty Gail Brown and the Boogieman of Lexington, Kentucky.
Ooh. Okay, so final thoughts.
That was
I don't know how did you find that story?
Google. Unsolved mysteries.
Thank you so much again for tuning in to the second
episode
video.
2.
Episode 2. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel.
Like and turn on the notification bells.
Notification bells. We were talking about putting together a little video of all our when we say things wrong.
Bloopers.
Bloopers, that's what it was, the word I was looking for. Our bloopers. Also, next week, I already know what I'm talking about. It's my favorite mystery. It is a mystery. No, I'm not even gonna, no, just have to come back. It's my favorite story though, so. It's tragic though, I'm sorry. Thank you so much for watching, and we hope to see you again. And here comes that creepy theme music.